Welcome to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the AstroEnergy show for May 24th, 2016. My name is Shelley Overton and I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. It is lovely to have you here. I am looking out the window here in Orlando and it was beautiful blue sky. See, just a little teeny bit up there, but it is getting cloudy and I'm not very happy with that. I want sunny days. That's why I live in Florida, but it seems like we don't get as many as we used to anymore. Oh well. So how have you been? How are you holding up with all this energy going on? I'm telling you, I had the hardest night last night. I was helping my son do a project for MegaCon, and if you don't know what that is a convention here in Orlando that a lot of people who do the cosplay with, like Marvel Comics and, any of the comic book stuff or online gaming, League of Legends, Minecraft, that kind of thing, they will get together and dress up in the costume of their favorite character or just a character that they like and get together and, have a lot of fun for about 4 days. It's from Thursday through Sunday. So he's going to be going, and he wanted to dress up as a League of Legends character. And I've been helping him make this pole that has like these claw kind of things on it at the top. And we've made it out of styrofoam and wood. And he's kind of an engineer at heart. And so everything is very precise. And I'm an artist, so I tend to look at it like, I have a lot of years of being an artist, so I can look at things and eye it up pretty accurately. So I'm much more about that looks good. It's proportionate, everything's accurate that way, and he's measuring to the nth degree. And so yesterday we were working on this, but part of it is spray painting it, and we got this chrome spray paint, and we've been using the masks with the plaster and all sorts of stuff, but when we went to spray paint it, I didn't put a mask on, and I don't know if this is why, but I had a migraine all last night, and my son apparently had a fever, and I just, I say apparently because he was not with me last night. He went home to his other house, but anyway, we both had issues, so it was bad, and I'm assuming it was the spray paint. And I know, I should have worn the mask for sure, but I did not. And now I don't know what that noise is. I think it's notification. If you're hearing it, I apologize. There are notifications coming, probably from Facebook, which I had that window open. But if not, I'll try and find it if it does it again, so you don't have to hear that. Anyway, so last night was pretty intense for me. I was up to about 12:30 with a migraine, and it felt like it was emanating out of the base of my neck. So if you know anything about connecting into spirit, and because I definitely have expanded that area of my interest as well, the base of the neck is where a lot of energy comes and goes. And like if you were, and I don't do this, but if you astral travel, they say that you come out of the back of your head, like right there at the base of your skull. That's right where this migraine emanated from. So I have all these different things going on in my brain. Was it from spray paint? Was it because of the full moon? Is it because of these terrible planetary aspects? A lot of planetary aspects are happening right now, and I'm looking at the chart, and it's pretty amazing. It looks like one of those old diamond-shaped kites turned a little askew in the center. So what I mean by that is every aspect creates a line in my chart, and there are so many aspects that they're creating a line and then a kite shape, and then from there it looks like string was crisscross zigzag over the top of the kite. So it's a lot of energy going on. Right now in Orlando, we have a Leo rising at 4 degrees. We have just had the sun go into Gemini. Literally, Venus just went into Gemini because I'm looking here. It's 0 degrees, 16 minutes. So what is today? Let me look it up on my calendar here because it'll tell me the exact degree. At 5:45 a.m. yesterday morning. Oh no, today. Today's Tuesday. I forgot. I switched my show from Wednesday to Tuesday, so sorry. Yeah, 5:45. So only about 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago, Venus went into Gemini. So now we have two planets in Gemini. And historically, whenever there's strong Gemini energy for me, I get headaches because it directly squares four planets in my chart that are all in Virgo. And so, and especially right now, 0 degrees Gemini is squaring my Neptune or my Saturn in Pisces, 0 degrees. So, yeah, we've got a lot. Venus and the Sun are within 3 degrees of each other. Now they're both in Gemini. So this morning, and even right now still, there's some breeze going on. It's about air. It's an air energy. And we're allowing this electricity to come in. And Gemini energy resonates to air element. So it's about wind. It's about winds of change. And that is a very apt way to put it because, or apt or apt, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out later. Anyway, so Sun, ego, self, the ability to express who you are and your personality on this earth plane. Gemini, duality, having a couple different ways of expression. You've got Venus at 0 degrees Gemini acting now in the feminine energy, wanting to express femininity. And interestingly, Gemini is a masculine energy. So she's feminine, signs masculine, and she wants to have the duality. She wants to go here and she wants to go there. Multiple purposes, multiple issues, and multiple desires. So right now is a really strong time for maybe feeling an attraction to more than one person. I wouldn't be surprised if many of you call in saying, well, I've got a couple of people that I'm interested in, or you're looking for love because that Gemini energy wants to express in the tangible, because remember, I say this fairly frequently, every second, the house next to a house represents the physical manifestation of the house before. The house before is Taurus. Taurus is about love. Now in Gemini, it wants to express that love. So there is this coming in of Venus, goddess of love, into the energy of expressing it now. She was in that desiring, in, yes, it was in the tangible and trying to do the physical things to make it happen. And now in Gemini, she's able to be a little freer, able to express it more and be flirty, flirtatious. That's a strong Gemini energy. So that being said, we have Sun and Venus up there in Gemini, and opposite is Mars and Saturn. And so Mars is at 1 degree Sagittarius. He's getting ready to go back into Scorpio, and he goes back into Scorpio this coming week. And let me just see. He goes on the 27th at 9:51 a.m., and that's Eastern, and Pacific it is 6:51 a.m. So in the morning on Friday, he's going to go back into the depths, I can't even say it, the depths of Scorpio. PTHS, that's a hard group of letters to say. And yet I was able to do it slowly. So that's Mercury and Taurus, slow, and then Sun and Gemini, words. So anyway, Mars and Sagittarius, 1 degree off. So where he is at the beginning of the Sagittarius energy, that new desire to express outwardly and to seek out new information and find out information about different situations, and also it's about learning and education. So he is in that newness, again, going back over something. So what that means is we've had an issue come up in the past, and I'm just trying to look it up and buying time here to look up when he went into Sagittarius, because it's been a while. And also when he finished out with Scorpio. So he went into Sagittarius in March on, let's see, it's at 1 degree. I'm just going to tell you exactly, 1 degree and 2 minutes of astrological time, which was the 14th of March. So March 14th, that's whatever you're doing right around then, which is probably, I shouldn't even say it. I don't want to let it go past my lips, but you might have been doing your taxes. But, if you didn't put them in under a void, of course, moon, then you might be hearing from the tax man. So what we're doing is we're going back to that day, to that time in that same energy, and we're going back over what happened mid-March for you. And then right after that, he goes back to what would have been the 5th of March and just before that. So right around March, we were getting that first taste of taking action on our own behalf towards a new job, towards maybe a new home, or buying property, towards going back to school, and also getting out, getting social, getting exercise, everything that I talk about with Sagittarius. So the opposites here, they're in opposite signs. Mars in Sagittarius, Sun, Venus, and Gemini. And then, of course, Saturn is at 13 Saturn. So Sun will be there in 10 days because he goes about a degree a day. It takes 30 days to get through the sign roughly. So in about 1 degree a day, 13 degrees, 10 days from now, he's at 3 degrees right now. In 10 days, he'll be at 13 opposing Saturn. But by then, Saturn will probably be at 12 Sagittarius. So then 10 days, let's see, 9 days from now. See, math. It's all about math. I hope you did good math and geometry in school because you use a lot of it doing astrology. Um, so the opposition means that one end wants to be mental, wants to be conceptual, wants to talk about things and think about things, and their desire, Sun, Venus, is about doing something on their own behalf. So Sun in Gemini wants to do its own thing. Not that we don't all want to do that, but specifically Sun in Gemini is more about concepts, ideas, and getting on with things and not really worrying about the fallout. That's what it has in common with Sagittarius. Even though Gemini is a detail-minded person, it isn't about details in the tangible world. It's about the details of the ideas. So the Gemini is very conceptual, popping ideas and inventions. So we're wanting to get on with things. Sagittarius does want to get on with things, but he wants to take action and move on. So the thing that also the two signs do have in common are travel, because the Gemini rules short distance travel and Sagittarius rules long distance travel. So the energy and positive aspect, and I do say opposites, while they can be difficult and controversial and contentious in their worst form, in their positive form, they're synergistic. And that means that they come together and work together like yin and yang. So that energy can be happening. But at the very same time, we have the opposition of Neptune in Pisces to Jupiter in Virgo. Jupiter and Neptune are exactly opposite, so they're talking to each other and dealing with their own energies. Neptune in Pisces is intuitive and emotional, and Jupiter in Virgo, while Jupiter is action-oriented, Virgo is also action and duction-oriented. It is detail-minded. So you have details of Virgo and no details of Pisces. They're both squaring the Gemini Sagittarius energy in the sky, making that kind of kite form come to life, and it's kind of an awkward square. My chart right now, I'm looking at it, only shows 2 squares. There are actually 4 squares going on, but they're not giving it in this particular aspect. So, well, I can tell you why, but I'm not going to bore you. So anyway, just suffice to say that there is this grand square in the sky. So in 4 different parts of the sky, if you look over at the sun and then the opposite side of the planet, there's Mars and Saturn. And then in between the two on the horizon is Jupiter and Neptune. So we're having this giant tug of war, like think of it as a boxing arena, and there are 4 different energies in each of the corners, and they're all wanting to win, and they're all getting ready to come out fighting, but they're pulling to their own corners to have things their own way. That's stressful. That's a lot of stuff. And it's about details, it's about education, it's about travel, it's about listening to your intuition. It's about where you're going to go in your vision and how you're going to take that action. But right now, your action is being thwarted. You're going to have to go back into the emotional side of things and wrap up some of those things coming up at the end of the week. We're going to start about a month of that. So it's pretty intense. And definitely there, and I said this before, and I'm going to reiterate only because I keep seeing it out there. Accident prone right now. I have seen there have been two car accidents at the same intersection in the last week that I've seen. Or actually, one of them I was told about. It blocked the whole two lanes going northbound near my house. And then there was another one not too long ago. I think it was last week, just before I had gotten there. And the police had already been called, so I went on my way. But definitely another accident. And then I just saw one this morning. There was a young biker over on the sidewalk around time for school, and a fire engine flew by me. And as I got up to it, it was a biker who had been hit in the road. So please, 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 please be careful. Any Gemini energy, any Mercury, you've got not only Mercury is now direct. He's in Taurus, which rules physical property. I know somebody who's dealing with plumbing issues. I know somebody who has dealt with car issues. It's like tangible property and things in your home. I had a friend have a diamond ring stolen and a lot of money. So it's just this energy coming out where watch your possessions, accidents, and other things. But we'll just leave it at that. And then also, that's Mercury. And then Gemini, Venus, and Sun opposing Mars and Saturn. So it's about desires, but having to really shore up what you're going to do about it and rethink how you're going to go about getting it done. And then Jupiter in Virgo ruled by Mercury. And, of course, Mercury will be going into Gemini a little later this month. Not too far out. It'll actually be, I think it's like the 28th. It's really close to when Mars goes in, I thought. Hang on, let me double check here. Jupiter squares Saturn exact on Thursday. I thought I'd throw that in because I was looking it up. And I guess Mercury takes a little bit longer than I was thinking. Let me look here. I'm going to look in the other part of the book because I don't see it in that one. And I don't want to keep you waiting. Okay. Oh, it's a little bit longer. Okay, the 13th of June. So that's a little bit farther than I was thinking. So we have a little bit of time. June 13th, definitely, in the middle of June, is going to be pretty powerful when Mercury goes into Gemini. Okay, and I don't know this. I haven't memorized it, but I heard Hillary Clinton has a Gemini. I think she has a Gemini rising, either Gemini or Virgo. So she's influenced by Mercury. And Donald Trump is Mercury Sun because he's a Gemini Sun. So they are both very strongly affected by what's going on right now. And I really try and keep out of the details of the politics, but it's definitely there. Yeah, I'll hear it. It'll filter into my environment through social media or the radio because I listen to the radio. But I knew this was going to be really contentious and it was going to be hyperbolic. And everybody gloms on and takes a side, and then we have 10 months of it before we're anywhere near an election, or even a year and a half. It's just ridiculous. So I really try to avoid that, and I would recommend that if you could just back off until it's a couple months before, because what's the point? It's just going to stress us all out. Okay, so Moon at 4 degrees Capricorn today. He's in conjunct Venus and Sun in Gemini. He's trine to Mercury, and I should say she. The Moon is Luna. It's a she, right? So she. And yeah, so she's got some stuff going on with all these energies in Taurus and Gemini. So she's emotional. She's quickly changing. She was just in Sagittarius over the weekend with the full moon, so that was also pretty intense. And I know that there were some delays with. I have a bunch of people I watch on YouTube, and I know one woman was traveling a couple of them were traveling, and matter of fact, a lot of YouTubers do a lot of traveling. If you haven't noticed this, but they were getting caught in delays and stuff. So that can happen when there's an opposition, especially in the signs that rule transportation. Okay, so Moon in Capricorn. Moon in Capricorn is much more stoic, literal minded, and they don't generally emote. They kind of keep their emotions to themselves. They're much more pragmatic about their emotions. So you'll see that for a couple of days. Of course, overnight, Moon is going to conjunct Pluto. I don't think the Moon will actually even touch Pluto until sometime closer to morning, because it's about 13 degrees away. So I'm just looking up for you too if I can. I don't know if I can see that. Hang on. I know you're waiting with bated breath to find out when the Moon touches Pluto, and that is a very powerful time too. So yeah, I think it's going to be in the middle of the night, because it's at well, I don't know. I think the square is having its way with my mental capacity right now. I'm getting a little tangential. So, okay, anyway. So overnight, you'll see Moon and Pluto conjunct. So Moon, again, emotions, stoicism, and it can be fearful, especially when it conjuncts Pluto. It's looking for the problem and trying to find the solution, and it thinks the worst of things. So that's the kind of energy we have with the Moon conjunct Pluto. Okay, so there you go. That's Uranus is up there in Aries still, and he's square by 5 degrees to Pluto right now. And I don't see, I guess, the North Node. He's got some aspects to the North Node, in conjuncts and things to the North and South Node. So can be a little chaotic. You can bring in some energy where you're learning and growing and having unexpected things happen around emotions, around education. Definitely Jupiter going forward, coming up on a conjunction to the North Node, is going to bring about more inspiration and desire to do good and be more humanitarian. Jupiter is very amenable is the word I'm looking for. Happy and jovial and pleasant. In Virgo, now that Virgo's going direct, or Jupiter's going direct in Virgo, he's going to be able to get things done. He wants to get stuff going, happening. So you're going to be on the phone a lot, probably, especially with the Gemini energy. Lots of phone stuff. So keep it close to you. You don't want to lose it with that Mars going back into Scorpio. If it does get lost, look for it to be near a body of water, and by all means, don't use your phone near the toilet, because that is more prone to happen too. Water bodies and electronics. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Well, let's take some calls and see what we have, or start with a call. So 817. Hi, 817. How are you?
Oh, hey. How are you? It's Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
You wanted me to give you a call back and let you know I'm a crazy lady.
I didn't say that, did I? I wouldn't. I don't think I would say that. At least I hope not.
You should, kind of. Well, no.
What? Oh, my gosh.
It was March I talked to you about that legal issue that we had going on back and forth for the last 3 years, practically. Remember?
Yes. Yes.
Vaguely
How's it
familiar
going?
now. Mm-hmm. It's still pretty much done. Finally,
awesome.
Almost 2 months after an agreement, we've received final paperwork signed by the opposing party. So it is
Lovely.
Pretty much done this week. Yes.
So it happened after Jupiter went direct.
Well, you had said back, I think December or something, I don't see anything happening till May. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I can't wait till...
I know. I'm sorry. I hate telling people that when they're really anxious. I'm like, I don't think so.
No, actually, I think you even said May 21st.
Did I really?
I think you did. And
oh, my gosh.
I know, so I love that. Anyway, isn't that
I love
great?
it too.
I knew you would like.
That's why I do it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's done. But just a quick question on mine, as far as Mark and I are hoping to purchase a home, and we're wondering if how the stars are looking for that.
Okay.
We've got something in the works right now, and I know it's Mercury retrograde. There's been a lot of different changes going on.
Not anymore. Mercury's direct now.
I know.
Yeah.
But we did sign it, in the middle. So I know you're not supposed to, but we have been looking for quite some time. But we're just wondering if this particular deal is going to work out.
Okay. Well, I think that you have some good and bad with it. Pluto right now is retrograde, and in your chart, it signifies. I'm actually going to do a chart for the question, which is called an horary chart. So,
Okay.
and that way I can just look into it and use the planets where they are right now, which is to me a little bit more accurate. It's pretty similar to when I started the show, but we're half into it, so let's see what we have.
Right. I was not aware you did horary. Great.
What was that?
I wasn't aware you did horary. I know what that is, and I hadn't heard you reference it before, so it's good to know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, horary is something I do a lot when people ask a little more complex special question and I want to get a more accurate timing answer. So I'll just do an horary for that question at that time, and because I can see a lot. But see, what I'm looking at when I look at this question that you asked for your chart, that's kind of how I can read the timing of when things are going to happen with your the money that you're signing on the papers for the legality thing. I could probably do that too with the house, but I just wanted to flesh it out a little bit more because of the Mars in Sagittarius, Saturn in Sagittarius, and right now with the question, see, I was wondering about that because in your natal chart, that falls up in your house of money from career, which doesn't necessarily affect the house situation unless you may lose a job or money isn't there from your work. That can affect things. But in the horary chart, that falls into the house of home and family. The Mars does, which just kind of it punctuates that there's. I mean, it's interesting that you say you signed the paperwork during the retrograde. Now Mercury in Taurus is direct. Nothing has altered because okay, let's just put it this way. What I see that is a potential from the horary, and I have to qualify this, horary charts are meant to be timing and yes-no kind of answers. You can read movement of people in it, and I do. It's not meant to necessarily be more like, oh, I see this or that. Like, okay, like what I want to say is watch out for water damage in this house or in this property. That isn't necessarily something that you would see in an horary chart, but because I read it intuitively, that's coming through, and that's something that I would caution you with. Okay?
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. So, but definitely Mars in the house of home and family retrograde, like I said before, it's in a fire sign going back into a water sign, and it's the end degrees of the Scorpio. So what's happening if you think about it and this is part of intuitive astrology, is you look at the situation and go, okay, what is the symbology and how does that relate to what I'm trying to bring out? And the symbology is, okay, early fire, which is 1 degree Sagittarius, wants to move on, right? It wants to get going with the new project. It's going backwards, so it's going back over things. So you're having to redo something that was initiated. Then it's going back into water, and it's going to Scorpio. Scorpio is the people who used to have the property, okay? Because it's what was old and what's wrapping up, because that's where Mars came from. And so now it's going back into where it came from, and it's saying, something like, it would be something akin, and this is just an example, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's akin to like Mars goes back into Scorpio and then the former owners go, well, I'm not so sure I'm really ready to sell, and can you give us a little more time? Or maybe there's something that we haven't been able to get out of the property, a giant piece of furniture that we really want, but we couldn't find a place for it. Now you're trying to close and we got to get rid of it, and I don't have a place for it. Could you wait? It's that kind of thing. It's something that comes up where they have a last gasp of like emotionalism around the property, and we've got to get something done that is sentimental, or it's like that energy. So that's why tell me about the sale, because you signed the paperwork during Mercury retrograde, right?
Yeah, we're still waiting for everything to go through. We haven't done an inspection or any of that yet. It's just
okay. Well, I think
pretty fresh.
Yeah, I think definitely the inspection. Pay attention. I think something might come up in the inspection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're not locked. We want it, but if it doesn't work out, we're not.
I'm not saying you won't get it. I'm saying that you've already signed a contract, so either something like the terms of the contract will change, like say that you get an
Which
inspection.
they have already. They have already.
Oh, they have. Oh,
They've
okay.
changed like 3
I didn't know
times
that.
already. Yeah, because we
Oh, there you go.
postponed the closing. It's in the middle of July, and we also put in there that they would can stay an extra 7 days to move because they're moving out of state. And they're trying to sell everything in the house, and they're going to do an estate sale, and it's some of the furniture is larger. So it doesn't surprise me that they might want to leave something. And we've already met them and really liked them personally. So
okay, so it's kind of going along the lines. Yeah, that's just kind of what I said, that I'm looking at the end of June for everything to really get where, well, Mars goes direct the end of June, okay? So even though he goes direct the end of June, it's going to take till the end of July to really get back up to speed, because Mars goes back into Sagittarius where it is today. Well, actually, it won't get to where it is to actually specifically today, 1 degree in 1, which is going to be Friday, August 5th. So that's, 2 months away? So it could take that long for everything to be culminated, okay?
Okay, right.
So, but, I mean, if you're working together and you like it and everything, I'm just saying that there is like this cross intersection of desire, and probably the paperwork has to do with a little bit of the Gemini, but also the Virgo. So, the Jupiter in Virgo is wanting to get it going and get the details done, but Jupiter doesn't like details, and Virgo does, and so and then it's opposite Neptune, which doesn't have anything to do with, not only doesn't like details, but doesn't like details whatever, so there's going to be like this, a lot of moving parts is really the easiest way to say it. It's just going to be a lot of moving parts and a lot of things that, you're just going to have to take a deep breath, because it's going to be a lot of activity. And some of it'll go your way and some won't. So
right, okay.
But I think something's definitely going to go on. Moon is going to be conjunct in 12 degrees, so look for something to come up in about 12 days. And some kind of, again, it could be a structural issue because it is Capricorn structure. There's going to be some kind, and honestly, I mean, I'm getting chills, and I keep thinking there could be some kind of water damage that's going to have a renovation of some type of structural part that they're going to find.
Okay. Well, that's
because not only, the moon is in the structural, moon is a water thing in the structural, and Pluto rules Scorpio. Mars is going back into Scorpio, and Scorpio is nothing if not water. So,
yeah. And well, it is near a river, so it's not, I mean, it's within 2 minutes of a pretty good-sized river, so I'm wondering if at some point it flooded from that.
It wouldn't surprise me. And definitely, so that right there, and honestly, I'm just going to be truthful with you, could be a deal killer only if it's too much for you to handle. But it is, astrologically, and I got chills with this, it's this shift for the structure of the building from one owner to another, and it's almost as if you're going to make it what it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like the structure itself is going to go through a transformation for you.
Right.
Which is good. I got chills all over my body telling you that. So
awesome.
That seems to be what the hit is, because I seriously like rubbing my arms to get them like woo. So
there's some changes we do want to make, but it's nothing we want to, we don't have to, but there's definitely some things that we'd want to change on it. So we've already discussed that. So that's
I think that there's going to be some need tos, get some necessities coming up for you. I mean, just moon conjunct Pluto is going to be like, nope, you're going to need to do this. This is like, pay attention to this. So it's good. The inspector comes in and, you just make sure he's a good one and you'll be fine, or she, whoever it is.
Right. I think it's a guy, yeah. Well, Mark will be there with them full time, so that'd be great. Awesome. Well, thanks for that advice. We'll definitely look forward to that, and I'll keep you posted.
Wonderful.
Appreciate your time.
Congratulations. Thanks. It's always fun to have a new place.
Thanks, Shelley.
Well, not always, but usually.
It will be. We're looking forward to it. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be back. And I don't want to take one that long. Let me see if I can find you. Oh, here we go. Okay, 2 minutes. All right. That was a nice little fun break. My name is Shelley Overton, and you are listening to the AstroEnergy Show on Blog Talk Radio. So, I'm here every week, Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. And if you would like a reading from me, you can get me at astrologerangel.com. There are tabs and buttons and links to contact me there for a reading. And usually, when you do that, you'll get like 3 appointment times so that you can choose something that's convenient for you. If you don't see that, definitely email me and I will get right back with you. Also, if you could go over to iTunes and look up AstroEnergy there, my podcasts are available there in archive and also on my website. But do a review of the show for me, and then that would really greatly help. Also, I have shows in archive on YouTube, and if you want to go find me there, you can find me at either Artful Shelley, or AstroEnergy, and I think you might even be able to find it through Astrologer Angel, but definitely AstroEnergy Show. If you type that in, it should come up with my videos. And yeah, so okay, let's take another caller. Let's see who we have. Did I just do that one? I did that once. Let's do this one. Here we go. Hi, 612. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. This is Karen. How are you?
Hi, Karen. I'm fine.
Hi. Great.
Yeah.
Shall I start with my birth info?
Yeah. Just first, is your name Karen or a different spelling?
That's correct. Karen.
Okay. Awesome. No, go ahead and shoot with your birthday.
Okay, December 1958.
Okay.
9:32 p.m. And that is in Olathe, Olathe, Kansas.
Okay. Wow. I don't think I've ever gotten that one.
If you can't find it, it's Johnson County.
Oh, no, it came. It showed up just fine.
Okay,
but
great.
That's awesome. Okay, so what can I do for you today?
Well, my question has to do with best approach for, in terms of implementing the vision. I've come up with the vision, and I'm in the beginning stages. I won't go into all kinds of detail, but I'm in the beginning stages. Things are starting to happen, but very slowly. And my habitual way of doing things is in intuitive flashes, and go and do. You know, if my gut says do it. So I've been trying to temper that, just because I've, in this period of everything, looking back and saying how would I do things differently now. So my question is, what would be the appropriate way for me to keep furthering along the implementation of the vision? Do I just, try to be more methodical,
Are you talking about,
more intellectual?
Division meaning dividing your time, or division meaning expressing some or giving things to someone else to do? So I'm not really clear on what you mean by division.
But vision has to do with how I meld my desire and how I make money. So I'm a freelance writer, and without going into all the history, there's some movement, some new movement happening now. And so that's the vision, melding the desire, the dream with how I make money. And now is, do I just keep plugging along in this very
keep plugging along.
boring... Okay.
Well, let me look at your chart a little bit more and I'll tell you what I see in your chart. So you're talking about a writer. Writer is ruled by a couple different energies. It's Gemini, and it's also Mercury, because Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury right now, well, it was retrograde, and you have natal Mars in Taurus retrograde. So Mars in Taurus direct usually is very deliberate in their actions and takes their time. And so retrograde, you can be probably less likely to be as plotting, but you're more likely to be thinking about how it went in the past, because you're taking action toward the past. That's what the retrograde action is. So you're looking back at look at that. That worked. Okay. But what happened was Mercury was on top of that energy for you and triggered it, but then he went retrograde. So Mercury was retrograde over your Mars retrograde. So how you were processing the thoughts of taking action, we're like, well, yeah, we got to take our time and we got to go back over what had happened. Now, as of the 22nd, it was 2 days ago, Mercury went direct. So now Mercury is once again moving forward 2 degrees off of your Mars. He's almost going to come up on your natal Mars within the next 2 days. And then right after that, he goes into your house of career. And he's not only going into your house of career, but that's the midheaven, which is your fame point. So you're at a point where, honestly, if you're looking to ask for money, or get it funded, that's the time to do it, because you're able to communicate what you're trying to do. And not only that, you've got Venus and Sun in Gemini, which are chatty and very gregarious. You have Vesta there, literally right between Venus and Sun, and so the Sun just went over Vesta, so that's a woman. And it can be a woman. I've said this before, but I really believe this energy of Vesta, the asteroid, is very shrew-like, can be someone who is nasty or not necessarily forthright. I would watch it for you. And that's in the next couple days. So this week. It'll be this week. Yeah, and it might not be out in the open yet, but Mercury I said Mercury goes into Gemini in the middle of June. So you have a few weeks. It's the 13th. So, around then, Mercury is going to be catching up to Vesta also. And that's when there could be words and something will come out. Right now, it's about a conflict of desire with ego in your career. There's something going on egoically, that there's someone else who may not be seeing eye to eye with you. And it could be even a parent. It might be mom, only because it's Venus in Gemini, but it is the house of father too. It's Capricorn as father, and so it might there's a dualism going on with a person in your career, or it could even be a person in authority. If there's somebody that you recognize in that role, that's what's going on there. And it is transient, but even though it's transient, it is a jumping off point for you because of the opposition to Mars in your house of home and family. So there's all this, the cross that I told you, the grand cross in the sky, is affecting your house of home and family, your house of career, your house of self, and your house of marriage and partnership. So it goes to, I don't know if you're married, but it goes to your partner. And it goes to, okay, so your partner is wanting things to probably stay a little more status quo, somehow more sentimental, Neptune in Pisces. And then you've got that Jupiter in Virgo going, okay, listen, people. Jupiter was direct, and it went retrograde 3 days into this year. I was so ready to hit it, and then it went retrograde. You've got to get out of my way because I've got things to do. Can I just be alone and get this done? Oh, but you don't pay attention to me. I want to spend time with you. What about our marriage? Blah, 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 blah. So that's what's going on there. And then you have the retrograde Saturn, Sagittarius in your house, home, and family, and you have Mercury natally in Sagittarius right on Saturn. So Saturn is, okay, so Mercury in Sagittarius, mentally, you're a very transient person. Mentally, you're like, I got to go. because nature and being outside and outdoors helps you. It gets you stimulated. It makes you feel more grounded. If you don't get outside, outdoors in the sun, oh my goodness. You need that. You need playtime. You need to be outdoors. You need to have your juices stimulated in nature, especially with Mars and Taurus. Mars and Taurus is a nature lover too. So Saturn, Mars are in your house of home and family. So right now they're retrograde. You're going back over the family dynamic, the family sentimentality. You're not as able to be free. And I'm telling you, you're gonna be free. You're going to have it happen right now. Jupiter just freed up, and that rules Sagittarius. So that's going to help. There is that. So your chart is saying you need to be alone, and so you're a writer. I don't know what the old story is versus the new one for you, but for you, you're a writer, and you need to be alone to write, and that's really strong right now because Virgo is a communicator as well because it is ruled by Mercury. Right now, Mercury is in positive, it's literally trining Jupiter. That's you better write because you're in whatever you create now is going to be what you're going to do when Mars and Saturn go direct because it's like a push, okay? So you need the alone time, but not very much of it because pretty soon Mercury is going to be at the midheaven and then it's going to be off to the races. You're thinking about, you're desiring, you're wanting ego. Do you get? Is that what it feels like?
Oh, yeah, and in fact, I have felt an internal push every day for the past 3 months to get this, it's a young adult novel, fantasy novel, to get the second draft finished. I've already started sending it out, been getting some nibbles, but I have just felt it so strong. It's just like, no matter what, sit down, work on it.
Yeah.
And I'm just about done. I estimate it'll be done in about 2 weeks to, again, start sending out. I wanted to wait until the new moon.
Right.
But you totally nailed it in terms of that figure in the household, the figure in the family,
yeah.
the sort of authoritative, sort of saying, no, this isn't comfortable. So you nailed it. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So I'll get off the line so you can pick up the calls.
Okay, yeah. If you want me to ever do a reading, you've got a lot of stuff I could go on and on, but that's my nature with the show. I always see a lot, so and I end up giving long readings because of it. But yeah, if you're ever interested, just give me a call.
Okay, thank you. I'll go on your site and check out details.
All
right, thanks again. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Okay, let's take our next caller, 952. Hi, 952.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. And let me see. Have you called before? And what's your name?
No, I've never called before. My name is Betsy.
Betsy. Oh, that's a cute name. I love that name. Okay, let me just. Pardon me?
Elizabeth is my full name, but.
Oh, okay, lovely. Let me just get your birth information real quick here. And your birthday?
6/25/62.
Okay. So you're a Cancer. And what time?
I do not know.
Okay. Do you have an idea? Morning, evening, after dark, midnight?
Afternoon, I think.
Afternoon? Okay, we'll give you a 3:30 in the afternoon. How about that? Where were you born?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. And there you go. By the way, my mom's birthday is the same as yours.
Really?
Yeah, that's
I
kind
would
of cool.
say my birthday is six months from Christmas.
It is, isn't it? Awesome. Okay, I'm going to just refine this a little bit. Are you somebody who's more people-pleasing and want peace and diplomatic, or are you somebody who's, well, that's going to be hard to tell because you have Neptune and Scorpio. Are you passionate, more like, do people see you as a very intense person, or do they see you more as like a passive, like, pleasing person?
I'm more outgoing.
Outgoing? Okay. So we'll just keep you. Actually, I'm going to adjust it just by a couple minutes because the chart I have puts a 28-degree Libra rising, and that's probably, if you're more Scorpio, I'm just going to give you the full Scorpio. How about that?
That works.
So more outgoing. So that's an extrovert, I assume. Okay. So what can I do for you?
I'd just like to know how my business is going to be in the next 3 months.
Okay, and let me see here. I can tell you go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm a jeweler. I make custom jewelry, so that helps.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm just like, so jewelry, when I look to jewelry, I look for Leo. But interestingly enough, I have a book right here, and I'm only doing this because I have a couple minutes. But jewelry, I'm going to look it up for you. I have a book that tells me all of the different rulerships. And jewelry is also Venus and Jupiter. It's got to actually have a lot of planets ruling. Yeah, but Leo and Venus, pretty much jewelry. So you have Leo at the midheaven, and so that's the spotlight. But what is going to happen is I think that you're going to, again, if you express what it is you're doing to people, you're going to get a lot more attention in the next month with Venus and Gemini because it's about spotlight. It's also taking action with social media, which would be really good.
Yep.
And let's see what else. So Venus and Gemini for the next month. I definitely see a lot, like an increase in what's going on with promotion. And then Uranus too. So definitely I would say, looking at this chart, advertise if you haven't, or word of mouth. So do you have any, like, do you go into shops and talk to shop owners and say, hey, I have this great line, and can you put a display in, and I won't even charge you, like, just, give me 2 or 3 months and see what happens? Something like that?
I haven't been able to do that. I had a sales rep. She was doing it, and then she quit on me because we had some issues. Just trying to get back into doing that right now.
Hmm. Well,
I don't
the
know
only
Facebook. I mean, I really sell off of Facebook. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I do quite well off Facebook.
Oh, no, it doesn't sound crazy because, honestly, I get my share of readings off of Facebook as well. And I've done less on Facebook than I normally do personally, just because my days go by on Facebook, but I'm like, okay, I can't do this much on Facebook. But definitely people still contact me through Facebook, so that's a good thing. Social media, if you continue to increase that, I think it's going to help. With what I see in your chart, because you have a moon in Aries and Uranus is transiting Aries right now, and that's electronic self-promotion. So, and it's in your house of work. So I would definitely utilize social media if you haven't. Have you tried Instagram or Snapchat?
Yep, I'm on both.
Oh, good, because Instagram, and you want to give it out? Why don't you give it out? We'll give you a little bump.
Oh, gosh. I gotta look it up. I'm so bad at computers. My kids have had to help me.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious. Like, they had to put my site on. It's designedbyelizabeth.com.
Designsbyelizabeth.com?
Yep, design.
Just design. That's what I was wondering if it was plural or singular. Okay, singular, designedbyelizabeth.com. Awesome. So I'm going to look it up for sure. Let me see. I'm just looking around. And you also have, so do you do really unique jewelry?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because
I also work with spirits. So.
Do you? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Well, Mercury in Taurus is going to be better now. Mercury, like I said before, Taurus is the sign that rules jewelry with the Venus ruler. So Mercury there, it's difficult because Mercury in Taurus doesn't necessarily want to talk about what it does. It just kind of wants to hang out and do what it does. It's much more about ideas around the execution of the jewelry as opposed to going and talking to people. They don't really but you can talk money now. Mercury in Taurus is about the materiality of it. So have you been buying supplies and talking to suppliers, things like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be Mercury in Taurus. So come the 13th of June, then you're going to have a much easier time talking about it and expressing yourself. You have Mercury in Gemini anyway. So Venus is there, and, again, in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a really good time for you. I think that you're probably going to sign more contracts in that time. It's going to resonate and connect to people much more in the next couple of weeks, okay?
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, and you have Neptune right on your Jupiter in the house of creativity, too. So, wow, yeah, you're really creative. This probably isn't the only thing you do, is it?
No, it isn't.
Well,
I draw. I make...
photography would be good for you, and poetry. Do you do photography or poetry?
No, I don't.
Well, you would be really, really good with both. And also glass media. Do you do any glass?
Just going to start.
Okay, the only thing with glass is anytime there are Leo or Aries transits that are harsh, you might end up shattering it. So that's what I found.
I melt more silver down some days than people can imagine. And then really? I take globs of stuff that didn't work, and I'll put it on a ring, and I'll sell more of that stuff than stuff I designed.
Oh my God! Now, isn't that funny? Oh, how ironic! Yeah, because I do art too, so I'm an artist, and yeah, that's.
You know what I'm talking about. Your mistakes sometimes sell better than.
Well, the thing is, what's funny is I'll have a painting that I don't particularly like, and I'll put it up, and someone will go, "Oh yeah, that's wonderful," and I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't really like that." And if you say that you don't really like it, then you just lost a sale. So yeah, and
I gotta learn to keep my mouth shut.
Exactly. Well, good luck. Mercury in Gemini, not happening. And Neptune in Scorpio is the one that's more likely to be pointing out the fault too. Like, oh no, this needs to be changed or altered. So yeah.
Hopefully, thank you very much.
But you do have a natural gregarious side, and verbal side. So in the next few, like definitely this month, but in the next couple weeks even more, when Mercury gets to Gemini, you're going to be like, boom, you'll be really able to talk about what you do. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me,
with the spirit stuff, it's kind of hard to tell anybody what to really do.
You know what? I tell you what, because I understand that. I'm an astrologer, People say, "What do you do?"
Yep.
Oh, I'm an artist. No, I'm an astrologer. We are coming up on a time, especially with Saturn and Aquarius, which is what you have, and Jupiter and Pisces. We're the ones that are teaching people that it's okay to be spiritual in a true sense of the word, not just like give it mouth service, but actually, hey, I'm doing this. I have a spiritual nature, and not only am I spiritual, I express it this way. And you'd be surprised how many people are really ready to resonate with that vibration right now. I mean, Neptune and Pisces doing it.
More people are coming more open to all of this.
Yes.
I think they're opening their eyes.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I have, like leprechauns and whatever. We're going to say all of them. But they give me, they sometimes give you ideas and they work for you, and they take my things, or they take my things and hide them, and I can't find them. And then they magically, the funny thing is they magically appear sometimes when I say, you have to give it back now.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool. Wow.
It is.
That's awesome. No, well, okay, so designbyelizabeth.com. And maybe we'll get you a few more people. You just got a little advertising.
Thank you, dear. You have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye. Thanks for the call. Call back anytime.
Okay.
Okay, bye. All right. That is the show for this week. And please do call back again. I will be here in the future. We are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at Ironwood.